What can we learn from the stories of official declarations 1 and 2 about how revelation is received and how we can sustain it as it comes?
That's a terrific question. And in some ways, these two declarations give us slightly different models for how it's received. Both of them come through the prophet, through the president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, but in slightly different ways. So in official declaration 1, so it came to President Woodruff in 1890, and it ended the practice of plural marriage within the church. There had been so much pressure for decades now. The federal government had passed a series of laws against the practice. Leaders of the church and members of the church had been thrown in prison. There was a lot of outside pressure. And it was as a result of that pressure that really took President Woodruff, to his knees and praying. And he said he received a vision about what would happen if they didn't change the practice. And he said, "I should have let all the temples go out of our hands. I should have gone to prison myself and let every other man go there had not the God of heaven commanded me to do what I did do." Right? So he felt just so confident because of this revelation that he received from God to do this very hard thing. If we go to official declaration 2, almost a century later in 1978, we actually know that presidents of the church had been praying about this, had been thinking about this for decades, as early as the 1950s with President David O. McKay. But President Kimball had spent weeks, months in the temple praying. But he wanted to make sure that the revelation didn't just come to him, but it came to the entire leadership of the church. And so they were gathered in the church together. And if you see at the very beginning of official declaration 2, it says that it came to him after extended meditation and prayer in the sacred rooms of the Holy Temple, after which he presented it to his counselors who accepted and approved it. It was then presented to the quorum of the 12 apostles who unanimously approved it, and then subsequently presented to all other general authorities. And so it came to the prophet, but then to other leaders of the church as they gathered together in the temple. So sometimes revelation comes just to the prophet, sometimes it comes more collectively to other leaders of the church as well.